Okay, this is my first video for my screen name on Twitter, which is Johnny Good. That's not my real name, but that's not important. Why that name? I picked that name because of Johnny Appleseed, the guy that planted seeds, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to plant seeds to get people to think differently, perhaps open their mind to new ideas or different ideas in terms of mostly politics in this country, which, if any of you have paid attention lately, it has gotten very, very ugly. The atmosphere it's so thick you can cut it with a knife. The gridlock is ridiculous. The polarization, crazy. The bottom line is Democrats, for the most part, hate Republicans, and Republicans hate Democrats. You've got fringes in both parties that are, in my opinion, controlling each party. And you got a lot of people that are in the middle that are frustrated and, I think, stuck. I was one of those. So I made the choice to go libertarian, mainly because I just love the idea that their belief system, in a sense, just says live and let live. You know, people should be free to conduct their lives the way they see fit. You know, as long as they're not hurting other people in the process. That's what people should be allowed to do, and I agree with that philosophy. You know, do I believe in them 100%, like perfectly? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure about that, but it's neither here nor there. The bottom line is, in general, I really believe in those principles of freedom for people, all people. So, anyways, that's the reason why I went libertarian, and one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about some of these political issues, and in fact why I'm using this resource, Facebook or Twitter, is to get the message out to as many people as I can in a more efficient way. I'm a crappy typer, so to sit there and type on Facebook or Twitter all day long takes too much time, and I just, at this point in my life, don't have the time to do that. So I'd rather just sit in front of a video camera, do a video for however long, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever, for each particular subject matter, and then move on. So the very first topic I wanted to talk about, because it's one of the main topics that created my dissatisfaction with the Republican Party, and that's immigration. The rhetoric from the far right has been truly untenable. It's just gotten so horrific, and unfortunately there aren't very many, if any, high-profile leaders in the party that have decided to say, you know what, this needs to end, and we need to kick these people to the curb, the people that are bigoted and racist. And it's very obvious by the terminology that they use, you know, calling immigrants, you know, comparing them to feral pigs, you know, saying we should build a wall with moats with live alligators, electrify the fence, use cattle prods. You know, they've been compared to rats. There's probably other things that have been said, that some of them have been shot by people, literally, while they're crossing the border. You know, by these so-called Minutemen. It's just gotten so ugly and pathetic that I could no longer be a part of that, and frankly it was embarrassing. So I made my move. I'm no longer part of the Republican Party. I quite frankly think that they have destroyed their opportunity to be a good party for the future of this country, especially with Latinos. And listen, I've told many of my friends before I finally bolted, pick up a book on demographics. Okay, read, because there's nothing you can do about it. Latinos are going to be, they're already the largest minority group in the country, and they're growing by the day. They're going to be, as far as some people have stated, as much, I believe, as 25% of our population by the year 2050. Now, I know that's a long ways off, but that's only a couple generations, and again, they're growing by leaps and bounds. The bottom line is you cannot expect to win an election when you're showing the entire Latino community the door and saying, go ahead and leave, go to the Democratic tent if you want. That's really what they're doing with all the hateful rhetoric that's going on, especially in Arizona and even other parts of the country. So that said, I think that their chances of winning in November are slim to none, mainly for that reason. But there are other reasons, but that's a big one. So again, on immigration, I'm hoping that I can plant some seeds as a libertarian to get people to rethink this whole issue on immigration and think about it as an economic issue, but also, you know, as a compassion issue. I mean, I'm a man of compassion. I think that you know, when people are here, they're starving or hungry or they just want to work. If they're a willing and able body that wants to go work in the agricultural fields or wherever, and there's a farmer that's willing to hire them, why not? I don't see the harm in that. But I think that if most reasonable, and that's the key word here, reasonable, Republicans looked at it from an economic standpoint, they might start to change their attitudes. They might start to think a little bit differently about how this issue affects all of us, as opposed to listening to some of the hateful rhetoric that's going on about how they fill up emergency rooms and how, you know, they're driving drunk and killing people and all that other BS, because that's really what it is. Anyhow, I'm open to hearing others' ideas. I mean, I am an open-minded person, but if you are listening and you are an open-minded person and you would like to discuss this further, by all means, reply and throw some questions out there. I'll do my best to answer the questions that you have. You know, maybe we can start engaging and have a good dialogue and you know, get some of the more reasonable people that are in the Republican and Democratic parties that are frustrated with their party's lack of action and lack of being willing and able to work with their colleagues across the aisle, which so far, the last couple of years, I'm not seeing any of that. So if you're part of that group, you're frustrated, consider the Libertarian Party, and let's keep an open mind. Okay? Thanks.